Welcome back to the Oakland County Championships. This is the back nine of round one. Super excited to have everyone here. We're in Kensington Metro Park at the South Locust Course, and I'm Zach. And on the commentator's mic, I've got Matt. How you doing?
Good, man. Excited to get back to the back nine and see what this course has to hold for these athletes.
Yeah, super excited to see how this finishes out. Thanks again to the sponsors of the event, and taking a quick gander at the front nine scores here. RJ is at even, Noah and Skylar at both neg 1, and Bart is at neg 2, a part of this WOW series as we get closer to our off season here. So guys, last chance to get some W's and cash heading into hole 10, par 3, 334 foot. Pretty standard here. You're trying to throw a hyzer shot, something pretty stable around through this gap, and then have it land on this very backstoppy hill.
Which is, you're throwing at the hill, hoping that,
Yeah, you can throw almost anything, even a faster disc. It probably won't go too far because of the angle of that hill. You just really have to focus on hitting the gap.
He looks like he pulled it just a little bit.
Yeah, and he's going to find himself not where he wants it to be. He's going to be low into the right of that hill. So he'll have an easy upshot at least, maybe even a two-look, but definitely not the thing he was trying to convert on. Skylar has really good angle control here. Thought for sure he was already past the tree. Ends up hitting the last tree there on the edge there, kicking himself into the weeds on the left.
Oh, no.
He's just getting some brutal kicks this round so far.
Well, he's throwing a neutral mid-range would be my guess. Pretty straight.
Yeah, and he thought for sure this was going to be in trouble. It was way too straight for him. It was a really beautiful disc. And he's going to put himself in circle one.
Got a lovely tree kick at the end there. RJ trying to repeat what Bart just did.
He's putting it up there. This is a little higher than I think he's trying to aim. But it looks like he's having a similar problem here, a little too straight. But looks like they're going to be disc buddies.
Bart's going to be able to see RJ's line. Isn't that the thing in regular golf? When you're just outside somebody else, you get to learn how they putt?
Yeah. Instead of getting green reads, you're going to get wind reads.
Exactly.
Luckily for us, we're in the woods.
Great approach shot from Skylar.
This is a look for Noah, definitely within his range. And with the backstop there, it's a free run for sure.
It's a long putt uphill.
Yeah, this is a touch too wide as well.
RJ would love to capitalize on this, which he does. Great birdie.
Ching, ching, ching. There's a birdie. Gets himself under par overall. Bart would also like to continue his streak here, try to get himself a little bit better. Struggled a little bit in the front nine to get going, but now that he has hit a couple birdies, hit a couple big putts, he's starting to score pretty well so far.
Everyone's in the groove now, you
Yeah.
know. Still, again, with the conditions, makes it tough, but these guys are ready to attack this back nine.
For sure. Hole 11, par 4, 505 feet. Plays as one of the more easier holes because it's a par 4. But you're really just throwing your first shot here across this valley. Anywhere near the top of this hill is fine. And then from there, you have your approach shot to the basket from there. Forehand is usually the preferred route. Try to beat these last two guardian trees, use the hill to your advantage, and get your birdie.
How far is it to the top of the hill, would you say?
300.
300 just to the top?
Yeah, and I'll be a little conservative on that. I think these guys are looking to get over the hill with a full drive, so it might be 325, but...
Well, he powered up on that, and that was a little yanked, I think.
Yeah, he definitely...
He might have been shooting for the eagle there.
Yeah, it's definitely eagleable. In fact, there was one eagle on the hole for the day. I won't spoil who it is yet, but we'll see if any of our card members can get it. RJ also kind of yanking it to the right there.
Right, yep.
That needs to get into a good place, and luckily it hits early on the edge there of the woods, so he'll still have he'll be on the edge. He won't be totally in the woods like Bart is right now. Boom goes the dynamite. That's a great looking shot. Over the top, through the gap, and he's not quite far past the hill there. He kind of like choked up a little bit with the stability of the disc, but he is out there.
Skylar looks like he's going to that.
Skylar's going for it.
But he looks like he turned that a little bit too much. Thrower, possibly.
Yeah, it kicks the tree.
Right to the middle?
Yeah, and just like popped right out in the center of the fairway, and he just gave it a fist pump. It's like, all right, I did it.
You got me itching to see if one of these guys throws in for eagle.
RJ with a really clean release through the gap there, and just needed to miss that tree. He'd have been up by the basket and circle, but he's gonna have an approach shot from there instead now.
It's pretty. Looks like a Raptor possibly from.
Yeah, I believe that is his Raptor.
It's a beautiful disc.
He's going really wide with this, and ooh.
Like I said, you got me itching.
Seeing if it's who can get it. Bart had almost there's no line here, and he found a hole that's literally the size of a disc up in the air, and he said, "I'm gonna go for it. You only live once."
YOLO.
And he got it out there.
It's gonna give him a chance for a birdie.
Yeah, it's definitely C2. It's a deep C2 look, but it's from where his position was to have a birdie look at all is crazy. No.
Okay, so it wasn't anyone on our card.
Not on our card. It was Patrick Burke who ended up converting the 2 on this hole.
Very cool. Congrats, Pat. That's pretty awesome.
And that's an impressive 2. RJ with a bid there.
Ooh.
That was a nice looking forehand. Put on a little bit of
touch
ante.
forehand that just kind of antes its way out the whole time. Bart looking to get his birdie.
And it looks like he didn't quite get that one over quite enough. Definitely another one he wanted, thought he could convert. Skyler with his birdie look.
Beautiful.
And that's a great birdie considering his initial drive.
For sure.
Could have been disastrous.
Definitely. That kick, definitely, he wants to thank that tree.
Yeah. Go hug that tree, Skyler. You hugged your basket earlier.
RJ tapping his par.
Taking his time. Definitely weather conditions are something to be considered.
Oh.
That's disgusting.
That was me.
I want to see it again.
Screwed view.
And I mean, the disc was in the basket the whole time and just had enough momentum to kind of flip it over the edge.
That was gross.
That was just brutal.
Sorry, RJ. Way to tap in your bogey, though.
Hey, that's just unfortunate.
For sure. Shake it off. Bart for his par. Now, after following that, he's taking his time.
Yeah, he's definitely got to laser in, hit the center.
He said, thank goodness.
Yeah.
We're off to hole 12. We have a 420-foot par 3. You're teeing from an elevated tee box, it looks. Very tight, skinny fairway to hit. Where did this sit for statistics?
Actually, this surprisingly played over par for the day. And mostly is because I think just getting through that initial gap, people ended up hitting a little too early, didn't quite get a good approach shot from there, and then missed their par putts. We'll see what our card can do here. But this is definitely, this line is a little trickier than it looks. Fun story, and hopefully this doesn't come to bite me in the butt later, but the T sign for this particular hole, because it's a 420 distance, has been stolen several times. And so what they did is that they have a T sign up there that says 419.9.
That's funny.
I love that T sign. That's just so cool. As Noah makes easy work with that blue disc again, he puts itself in circle, and Skyler going to a knee, praying that disc meets
like it
the
trickled
gap.
a few leaves, some shrubs on the way out, but he still had a phenomenal toss there. Bart, I imagine, is going back to that. Looks like a FD possibly?
Yeah, and it's a really beautiful, pretty disc. And he hits the exact same leaves that Skyler hit.
But didn't squeeze through.
No, it just hit, and it went straight down. Like, never had a chance. And
disc golf.
Yeah, we did it. Welcome to Michigan.
RJ?
He's aiming right at the same thing, too, with his nuke. It's going to stable out a little early.
Wait, trickled some leaves on the way out of that mouth, too.
Definitely a hole that feels like, because of how downhill it is, you should be able to get there and you should be able to convert it. But just for some reason today, probably mostly because of the conditions, I think it just played a little more difficult making sure you hit that gap with enough speed and with the right disc to get all the way there.
I feel like this is a new designed hole in the Black Locust.
Yeah, I think so.
Track. I don't remember this hole at all.
And it's playing pretty difficult, so I think for right now we're going to keep it.
For sure.
RJ with a good bid there.
Solid bid, for sure.
Little Annie run.
No one's gonna want to capitalize this.
Yeah, this is a few birdies on the day on this hole, and Noah's trying to be one of them.
Yeah, buddy.
Good
Cash.
putt. Yep.
Yep, he and two other people, Nathan Hoyle and Brendan Taylor, were the only birdies on this hole.
Wow, that's surprising in a way.
So just, a pretty difficult hole here just in general, but it looks like there were 3 times as many bogeys almost. So just a surprisingly difficult hole on the day.
Everyone else cleaning up their pars.
We'll be
We're on to the next one.
Hole 13, par 3, 345. This one has an initial long pad that's a little more jarred to the fairway, so you kind of have to throw either a forehand flip to flat, or you need to throw maybe a backhand turnover that kind of fades to the right a little bit for a little longer, whatever your disc of choice there is, and try to get into that circle there. Pretty narrow fairway in general once you get into it. It looks like Noah's going to go with that blue flippy disc again. Can't remember for sure what it is. I almost want to say it's a leopard or a sidewinder. I can't quite remember. And that is, ooh.
It's not going to turn enough though.
Yeah, and you can see him pointing that it wants to go over that direction, but really giving himself out there is,
It's still
worst case scenario, it's a 3. And that looked flippy enough, but again, he's going to get kicked into the woods. He's had some of the worst kick luck today.
Yeah, it looks nice from Bart.
Yeah, this is looking really clean. A little scoot.
And that's how you draw it up.
Yeah, there you go. That's how you throw this hole. We figured it out.
You think RJ's going back to that warship?
Yeah, this is just a disc that's understable enough for him to convert this distance.
The warship, for you guys who don't know, is like a faster mid-range. It's like in between a fairway and a mid-range. And it has some great flights. I've seen Dan Treese toss that disc around.
Oh, yeah.
Shout out to Dan Tree.
I love me some Dan Treese.
Who doesn't?
This
little
is
forehand flick.
Yeah, and this great putter shot. I think that's his putting putter.
Really?
I think it is.
That takes a lot of touch.
Yep, and Skylar talked to Donut, because we had a couple weights on this course, and talked to Donut about how he just, oh my lord, no,
That's
it's tickling.
full commitment right there.
But he's been working on that forehand. Just it's so dependable to scramble you out of stuff like that.
Oh, the putter forehand is crucial.
There you go.
Great putt, RJ.
RJ able to convert a birdie after this screwed view of a bogey, but
Nice tapping from Skylar, and we still have not gotten to Bart's drive.
it's so good.
So good.
He's gonna sneak in there.
He's
before.
excited. You can tell his body language. He's like,
Give me this birdie.
"Yep, I'll take it."
He's still doing really
After
well.
Noah's full commitment, it did give him a little bit of a tester coming back, but
Yeah, and I think Noah really wants to kind of catch up to Bart at this point.
I can see that.
He's just really wanting to convert here and just take advantage of the course that he knows so well. Heading into hole 14.
360 feet. Look, another straight to right finishing hole. You'll see a lot of, I imagine, forehands off the tee box, or again, neutral disc, sidewinder, leopard to get it to fade to the right.
Yep. A lot, I think, the play that some people try to do is, like you said, a flippy fairway where you're trying to put it on big hyzer and just kind of like manipulate the flight of the fairway there.
Slowly tick over.
Yeah, and it's just such a, it's so difficult. It's just, I think it's a little too narrow to hit so consistently, but Bart says otherwise. He thinks I'm wrong.
That red disc is finding ways.
It's finding gaps.
I'm surprised they're not. I know 360 is a good forehand pump, but to me it looks like a good straight to stable forehand shot.
Yeah, I think that's the line you want to take if you're really trying to get aggressive up into the green.
That looks high out of RJ's hands.
But this is the play for people who just don't have that 360 power. Like, this is what you have to do.
Right.
There just isn't another way for you to get there.
To get a disc to turn right the whole time, though, is a very challenging shot.
And I think Noah has the forehand power to get there, but I think this disc has been, up to this point, has been so good for him. He just wanted to
For sure.
keep riding it.
Finding some birdies. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Right.
Here's Skyler with the forehand. I'm excited to see this. A big flex. That's too flexed, I think.
Yeah, it's just a little too low. It's going to get some ground action. I think that if I had another 5, 6 feet, 7
It's
feet of
there.
air, oh yeah, it's
As soon as you
pumped.
crest that hill, it's going to give you more time for that disc to fight back.
There's that gator again.
Ooh, he was watching it.
A little bit of a skip, still within his range. Bit of a tester maybe.
RJ's probably going to do a little touch forehand run.
I think he's been working on this a lot recently.
Lot.
That's just a little too short from him. I'm not sure if he's having trouble, like maybe getting full snaps out of it because of the.
You kind of just don't have
rain.
that full trust in the rain, yeah. Good little jump putt bid from Skyler.
And while like new rain, like the actual physical rain has stopped, we're still getting those droplets
Right.
from time to time, and it's still wet out there. Every time you pick up your disc, whew. Bart thought he had another
He
one.
liked the look of it.
I mean, he, like I said, he's had probably 6 putts now where he's had discs or trees right in front of him that he's had to putt around.
RJ.
And just a misfire there from RJ.
Do you think that screwed view kind of got in his head?
Could be. Just, I'm not sure if he rushed it. Sometimes it just happens too. Sometimes you're feeling okay, you throw your putt, and for some reason it's just a little off. And
Noah has definitely found his putting groove. His last 3 to 4 holes, his putting stroke has looked really pretty. Skyler's tapping his par, and Bart and RJ will be doing the same. I think RJ for bogey though.
yeah, definitely a hole that I don't think you really. I mean, you never want to bogey any hole, but
Right.
definitely one you shouldn't.
This one hurts
be
more than
bogey.
most.
Yeah, this is definitely one you don't want to take a
Yeah.
bogey for.
He'll recover as we get into hole 15, 305 feet. Another right to left finishing hole. You'll see a lot of backhand hyzers coming in.
I think the backhand hyzer is the best play and consistent play to give yourself the C2 look.
C2, so it's tough to access circle 1.
Yeah, it's just like you'd want to throw something flippy like that has that huge spike angle so that it flips a little bit and attacks that gap. But the problem is that if you do that with something too fast, you're just going to go way past the basket.
That looks like he hugged the left side perfectly.
Yeah, this is like premier angle, and Noah later when he came in, walking up to that disc said, I don't think he's ever seen a better backhand.
For sure, you need
Shot.
to push that on the backhand, that left tree you see
Yep.
as close. This is what I was excited to see, a flex forehand.
And this is I think a more common play to attack the gap. And that's a fortunate kick out.
Bart made this hole look easy.
Yeah, and I mean Bart didn't even think about forehand. I mean, he was up first, and then he watched Noah and Skyler's side be like, "Oh, probably should have done that."
Skyler going with the forehand with that Raptor.
That
Each
one
of these
looks-
look like they're at a sharp angle. Wow,
lots of ground action.
for
there.
sure, ton of ground action. They look like they're coming out as rollers out of these guys' hands.
Yeah.
Magic.
I don't think. Yeah, that one. This one looked like the best angle out of them, but it was a little too hot.
tight, yep.
So he's gonna be.
Each person outside circle 2, if not in circle 2.
Yeah.
Except Bart, who's looking at a pretty good birdie.
I'm not sure if that was a run or a half run that just happened to be a little too wide, but he's up there. He's gonna have a tap in for his.
RJ
Par.
finding some back doors.
He's got to get through. It does.
Nice.
That'll work. Still Bart's disc just sitting over there on the side. This is outside for sure. I think it was like 42 feet or something like that.
Wow, what a
Cash.
beautiful putt.
Skyler's happy about that.
Definitely run that one in. RJ tapping in his par, hopefully. That's a good stroke.
Yeah, after one screwed view,
I know.
you're-
And you just don't. I said hopefully, but I know he's got a beautiful putting stroke, so
you don't want 2 of those.
that is a
Great
great
birdie.
birdie.
The last 3 holes all played very similarly in difficulty. They almost all hit par. They're just a touch over, both of them at .05 over, roughly all 3 of them. So definitely a hole that a lot of people struggled to convert on, Bart being one of them on this hole. Only 7 people to get a birdie on it. Heading into hole 16 now, which is also playing very similarly in difficulty. 343-foot par 3, just something piped straight up this gut, as straight as possible. Don't go in the woods.
Low ceiling. So all those together make this hole relatively challenging, I imagine. And anything off the fairway does not look tasty.
Yeah, it's no bueno. You can even see, Donut, when we were talking about placements of the catch cam, he's like, I'm not sure if like making it down this fairway is going to be consistent. And you can see Bart here kind of gripped it a little bit to the right.
Super low ceiling.
It's just like a difficult gap. You just have to trust a disc to go 5 feet off the ground for forever.
For 350 feet, which is extremely challenging.
Good line, but it's got to get through a lot. And, okay, sure, all right. Oh, stop.
I think he likes that.
Yeah, I would take that all day.
Noah's hat off, so you know he's ripping hard here.
Been really excited to film Noah today just because he's been tearing it up this season.
He has made a great name for himself on the scene this year.
Yeah, this is looking great. This is exactly what you want to do. Maybe a touch too fast of a disc.
I really want to know what that blue disc is.
I think it's a Sidewinder.
It's a pretty beefy Sidewinder then.
Oh, he flipped that. He put on a pretty big hyzer.
But it just went straight. If you need a beefy Sidewinder, reach out to Andrew Marita and pick up one of his tour series. They are beefy. RJ was a little low, but I imagine that's the common miss.
Yeah, and so RJ had the perfect line, perfect angle, and it just too low. And that grass, it was just, you would hope for a skip shot. It just grabbed it, and it just didn't go anywhere. And Bart here
with
kind of
razor claw, just like he missed his spot.
Yeah, I think he wanted to go left of that tree and hyzer it, and just like misfired a little bit, and now he's gonna try to scramble for a bogey. Yeah, had to miss that tree.
He's going to want that second shot back.
You can see the umbrellas.
As Noah's pushing, too.
Yeah, Noah is harping down. He's got a birdie look. This might tie him back up.
RJ with his good layup there.
Yeah, and that's using the tree as a backstop, too, just knowing that there's no fear.
Big putt from Noah.
Trying to swing the momentum.
And there it is.
Cash.
It's a big birdie.
One of the 5 birdies on the day. One of them was Noah. Skylar's going to try to become one of the other ones.
Can we get 2 on featured card?
Can we have a 3-way tie going into 17?
That would be pretty exciting as well. Great.
Yes, we can.
Wow.
That's a
way to bring it down to the wire.
Definitely and all these guys right now, Noah, Bart, and Skylar are all competing for those top spots right now. They're roughly, checking the, live scoring. They all see that they're in that race in the hunt right now. The couple other players around the course are also shooting really well, so they're just trying to do the best they can to finish strong now heading the last 2 holes. RJ tapping in his par. RJ a little bit off the pace here. Really just had some unlucky kicks, some unlucky breaks.
Never really got going.
Yeah.
It's been his front nine was a lot of pars. Yeah,
and last 2 holes here, and honestly, I don't think there's a single signature hole on this course. I think 17 and 18 combo as the signature, and this is a par 4, 558. This is a humongous hole. You want to land your first drive right here, right in the first corner here. That gives you your best chance of staying underneath the canopy here and attacking it to give yourself a 3 look. Years ago, you used to be able to go over the top on a big ante and maybe get into that like Plinko area to give yourself a 2 look, but it's so overgrown now that nobody goes for it.
For sure, this is a signature hole in the Black Locust in the Kensington area. This has not changed, and it is a very challenging par 4, and that is a phenomenal forehand from Noah there.
Perfect.
Puts you in really good position.
There is some OB that's deep, straight backwards. So if you happen to throw a forehand and it flattens out too much, you could find yourself accidentally pushing OB.
The bushes to the right of the tee box are the ones that have really kind of grown in over time, which really doesn't give you that shortcut angle. You mean pushing a forehand wide to have it come back to that fairway.
So Skylar there pushed it a little too far, but got a friendly kick, stayed on the edge of the fairway, might still be able to convert that birdie. And I thought this looked so good out of RJ's hand the whole way, and you can see Yeah, and his reaction too. Caught the firmest skinny branch.
Iron leafed.
And Bart walked up here and said,
I'm going aggressive.
oh yeah, just go for it. And I thought he hung this out a little too wide. It's actually pretty good angle, good power. Just
a little inside right.
Yeah.
But that's going to give him a chance to attack the basket still, I believe.
Yeah, there's
a few obstacles in the way.
Yeah, he's got a couple things to plinko around, but we'll see if he has a line there.
Unlucky kick from RJ, but he's going to have a forehand towards the pin.
It's just a little wide there, and from that position, he's just got to go up and down, save the par.
Skyler with his Raptor. That looks better.
Yeah, this has got to sit, though. Can't go too wide. Unlucky tree kick, lucky tree kick, right?
Still circle, still putting first birdie. Noah's drive was ideal.
Yeah, Luna in his hand here.
Little turnover putter action.
Yeah, 5-time crystal. Really just depend on the disc. Give it enough power to have it turn over. And this has got to get going. It's going to be up there.
Scoot up to... Oh, yeah, he's perfect.
Literally ideal. And Bart gets a little fortunate here. Literally has a lane.
Look at that perfect lane. See, sometimes when you go aggressive, you don't get rewarded. And that is a good example of going aggressive and locking up the basket for your birdie.
You know, I consider it to be balanced out in karma because he's had so many putts now behind random trees.
For sure.
That they finally said, you know what?
Let's give him a chance at it.
We'll give him a little hallway.
Or just pitching up for his...
He's going to save his par there. Skyler with a birdie look.
Beautiful.
Cash.
These guys are pushing hard right now.
Yeah, they're just... No one's giving an inch now. They're just trying to do the best they can to finish strong.
Into the last hole.
Yeah, this is looking real good from these. And we haven't even gotten to Bart's. Still.
He just locked up the basket.
Yeah, he just pinned it.
Actually putting his bogey.
This is for par.
This is par.
This is for par, yep. He's able to convert.
For sure.
No more screwed views.
We don't want those.
No more for it. He really wanted to get a crew view today.
And instead he got a screwed view.
He got a screwed view.
Sometimes that's what the game gives you.
It still says crew view in there. Just letting you know.
Yeah, it is.
And
it changes it a little bit. Hole 18, we have a par 5, 634 feet. A doozy of a hole. This is an original Black Locust hole. You just need to get your drive straight and as far up there as you possibly can because it takes a straight left turn. Once you get to these trees, you see that the drone's flying by right now, and the pin is straight up the hill as you get around the corner, and it is a very difficult pin to access.
Yeah.
You need to be in the ideal position just to have a chance to get there.
You would think that this hill would be a really good backstop to scoot it towards it, but the reality is that it's so fast that you end up going down the downslope on the opposite side way more than you would think.
For sure.
And this is a par 5, so I talked to the TD about this a little bit. I said, why is it a par 5 instead of a par 4? And he says that in the history of him hosting tournaments, even with shots like that there have been, I think he said, less than 7 eagles on this hole in 10 years or something like that. Like, it just never happens. And so Noah looking to become the 8th.
That's pretty cool. That's a cool little accolade in your career. I would say at 364 feet, it's quite a tweener for a par 5. But at the same time, I do know this hole, and I do know what you can get into, and it is very challenging. So that's the TD's call, and I appreciate kind of what he has statistically because that drive from Noah is rare. You're not going to see that.
Yeah, and for him to have the experience to say, I know that the 3 is rare, even though Noah's hopefully going to get it, just being aware of that and saying, being that part of his decision making, I think making it a par 5 is a good decision.
Definitely. It looks like RJ's ripping on his nuke.
And
hopefully finds some stability at the end, and he's just kind of getting some unlucky kicks today as well. Just can't quite get anything fully going.
Yeah, you can't get the RJ train going quite well.
But a birdie here still allows him to defeat the course. And that is a good approach shot too. So
yeah, I mean, he's on the left side there. And right, we were getting to the end of the round here. We had like people like coming out of the woods from like other divisions.
Oh, because they were walking through?
Yeah, and they're just like walking into the fairway. So it was just kind of awkward, but
he pushed that too straight. Ouch.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what disc that was. I thought he was going to throw a roller. I thought he was going to try to throw a roller and try to cut up the hill a little bit. And when it came out of his hand, I thought it was still that, and then it stabled up, and I was just a little confused.
That is a
And
decent approach shot there. Should give him circle's edge.
Yeah, Skylar was a little upset with that. There's those invisible, black branches up there. I thought he was going to cash it. Has
there ever been a 2 on this hole?
I don't think so.
Oh, I don't know. Again, that drive is rare.
Noah, you have to get the drive and then have the balls to run it.
Oh, that's not how you want to finish.
Yeah, and this is going from bad to worse. In fact, this lie is harder than the previous one, and he just hard commits into a turnover putter, and that's going to lay it up for his par.
Sneak out with a par for sure. I bet you a par feels closer to a bogey though.
Yeah, for everyone in this field, you're really looking.
He ran that.
You're really looking to get a 4.
At least a 4 for sure.
Yeah, you're really looking for, you're dreaming the 3, right? The 3 feels eagly, but you really want that 4 and just take the score.
Oh, just it.
Oh, we're gonna get some trouble here.
We're not.
Quick work from the caddy. Get that bag out of the way, and I mean, didn't deserve an ounce of that, right?
No.
Just second screwed view of the round. Just hard punish galore. Hits even a couple roots, just can't get anything to slow down, and then lands literally in a position where he has almost no chance of saving this par or this birdie.
Ouch! That's the last thing you want. You just played a 3-hour round of disc golf, and for that to happen, it's just.
And he played the hole well.
I know it sucks the wind right out of your sails. Going into the next round, you just need to be able to shake your mental and just be like, I can get that back. RJ just kind of saw what happened to Skylar, so I was like,
yes.
Man, don't hit front cage and roll down.
And Noah's going to be the only one on the card here.
Definite
eagle. And so this was the funny part that I talked about. So these were not ideal conditions. There were 8 eagles on the day.
Wow.
And so
that makes me question, is it a par 5?
So I just don't know. I think today, I don't know what it was about today, but yeah, he doubled up the number of 3s on the score here. Taking a look at the overall scores, Noah's going to sneak himself into second. Nate with the hot round at neg 8.
You know that name.
Yeah, and we're going to have John and Patrick joining us for the next round. Sam Smeagol just pushed out by PDJ number, but lots of good scores out there today. Everyone's still kind of compact. That 7 and 8 kind of the push-out numbers. Everyone else kind of clustered around that 4 to 5 range. So thanks again to our sponsors, and we're going to see you guys at the conclusion at Lions Den on the next round.
Awesome. Appreciate you having me, Zach, and excited to check out the next round.